you hit the... Is that recording? Camera?
Yep.
This is all I listen to these days.
When the podcast starts like this, you know you're dealing with a new parent.
Oh my
You got
gosh.
this is the dad cast right now.
Literally the dad cast. Almost 5 months in. Happy song on repeat.
Dude, I remember that exact song.
Oh.
Really? This is the
I
first
knew it
I've
before
heard
you
it.
even said it. Just
Yeah, I mean,
ring,
yeah.
ring, ding, ding, ding. And then you end up singing the song.
Yeah,
the
literally.
rest of the
Yeah,
day.
literally.
It's so catchy.
It's catchy. And it's cool that it's not super annoying because
Yeah.
some like kid songs you're like, oh, like this is.
Well,
Yeah.
like, it gets there.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Delaney, man, my mom, she'll get Austin toys, or like if he presses a button, it'll be like horse.
Oh,
And
God.
like,
Oh, gosh, yeah.
and do
Yeah.
like a little horse song, and she's like, "We are not getting him one more toy. That's
Right.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
0." So she's out. She's
Yeah.
like wooden blocks only.
My mom's the same way. Any extra noise, she's like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, our kids.
Yeah.
We're gonna raise our kid like he's Amish. It's like wooden toy. Yeah.
They just keep pressing it.
Yeah, but he loves those things. So if it's the morning and I'm like trying to write and Delaney has gone back to sleep, I'm just like, all right, man, it's not a screen,
Right.
but
Yeah.
you're gonna just sit here
Yeah.
and play with horse and pig and cow.
You guys are
and
still
whatever.
going strong, no screens?
Yeah,
Yeah, same.
yeah, doing what we can. Well, he's not even really interested in them.
My gosh.
His biggest thing, dude, is remotes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he even has like his own Chumote.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
he'll just see me like switching the channel or just turning up the volume, and he's like, I need that.
Yeah.
And he just mows this
Oh,
thing
Franklin
down.
will like fully crank, bend backwards to watch. If I have a game on
Yeah.
and I'm holding him and he's looking at me, he'll just crank all the way and like try to watch the screen. He'll even find the reflection in the
Oh, right,
windows
yeah.
and be like, I'm like, why are you so quiet? I'm like, oh, you're watching the TV from the reflection.
Yeah.
Then it's just TV off.
Sports guy.
Big sports
sports
guy.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, long and lean like you too, right?
Yeah, he's growing pretty fast.
Yeah.
Which is weird because he's not sleeping very much. So it's like, how is this happening?
But
if
what
you're-
time are you growing?
Yeah, literally.
I think about that all the time because Austin's even a happy kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, how are you happy
Right.
when you're not sleeping?
Right. Yeah.
And how are you so huge when you're not sleeping? Like, where's the growing being done?
Seriously. I thought about it this morning because I was like, it's 5 a.m. You're up. I'm barely up.
Yeah.
But like, where does this growing happen?
It's like a fish. Like they're just sleeping while moving around.
Yeah.
You know? They just kind of sleep and
Yeah.
swim at the same time.
I guess so. He grows when he breastfeeds because that's where he does most.
He's in the zone.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe I just have like a pretty dumb kid coming out. Like his body's growing, but his brain's not developing 'cause he's not sleeping.
Yeah, I don't know.
It'll catch up.
That's why you love
That's
the little
what-
horse button.
Yeah. And the happy song.
In the happy song.
Throw on the happy song whenever you need.
Oh, God.
Well, for those who don't know, a lot of our viewers will only know you behind the camera as
Right.
La Machina
And
or
producer.
producer Frito.
Producer Thredo.
But but on camera is Daniel Fritos, known to the beach community as Frito. It's good to finally have you on this side of the
thank you.
camera, man.
Yeah, thank you
Yeah,
guys.
buddy,
Yeah, this is
welcome.
cool.
Yeah, first career podcast.
First career podcast. Yeah.
In the best podcast studio in the world.
Easily.
We were just talking about that.
I mean, yeah,
it
this
might
is-
be the only
this
one that
is-
exists too, but
Yeah.
Yeah, do any other volleyball podcasts? How many volleyball podcasts are there? Do you guys know?
there's got to be a.
So there's
I feel like there's some indoor ones.
Coach Your Brains Out that
Yeah.
Billy and John do.
Do they have an official studio?
I was gonna say,
I think it's remote. I
Yeah.
think they do all remote. And then Jason DeBelius does his
that's
option.
still very hot.
And
Jason DeBelius.
he actually has like a pretty cool setup.
Is that beach?
These
It-
are all
it's just
strictly
whatever.
volleyball
Whatever.
Um,
podcasts.
That's like mostly volleyball. And Kristen and Taryn have one now.
Oh, they do.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Short stories and tall tales.
Yeah.
Phenomenal name.
That's so good. That's so good.
Yeah, but I think that's it. And then there's maybe a couple indoors. I think Alex Valkenhorst has one.
Yeah. There's a German one for
And
sure.
This
Yeah.
guy just knows everything.
Oh,
Literally
yeah,
everything.
For sure. 100%.
It has been my job.
I know, but like, I was just so blown away in Mexico about. He wouldn't prep or anything. I'd be like, all right, let's hit record and see how it goes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just go for so long
Even
and
like-
just like barely would. I think he messed up like maybe once. It was
Yeah.
like a score 21-19 and it was 21-18.
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
But can
cool.
he pronounce the Thai athletes' names?
I got Warpir Chowercorn and never formed a pat. But the guys and
Chowder corn? Corn chowder.
chowder corn. No,
Could
it's,
be a good volleyball name, but also maybe not.
Corn chowder.
Yeah.
the number one women's tie team I can do, but when I see another one, I'm like, it takes some prep.
Some prep.
Yeah, that's where the prep has to come in.
Yeah. I mean, it was awesome.
It's impressive.
Just seeing you just go. It was cool.
Well, you too. I was telling Try that like you just crank shit out, dude.
Yeah.
And video editing takes so long. Like writing for some people takes a long time, but it's just like you can just mow it down.
Yeah.
But video editing is like all included. Like you got so much stuff to deal with. You got audio, this shot, that shot, the other shot, and your ability to weave it together in a hurry.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen someone edit videos as fast as you do.
I think that's like almost my bread and butter.
Yeah.
It was just, also feel like if I just have content for too long, I'm just like, I get lazy, or like, I kind of forget how I shot things or whatever. When it's
not
like
quite as relevant
quick like
anymore.
that, that's when it's like, oh, this is fun. Like, it's
Yeah.
almost like being an athlete. It's like crunch time. You have to
You
get
get
it
the
done,
adrenaline
and like,
rush.
yeah, for sure. And then trying to go to bed after that's like,
You're jacked up.
it's like, how do I just like turn it off real quick? So
Yeah.
especially like now going to these Clipper games, I have to do it's called a string out. Just basically get all my best clips and put it all into one video.
Okay.
And then I have to drive home and it's like 11:30. I'm like, all right, do I just like go right to sleep? It's kind of hard to just like go right to sleep.
Because
So-
you're kind of fired up.
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
Are you like still editing stuff in your brain on your drive home? You're like, I could have done this or that or the other thing.
Well, I don't have to edit so much. It's just how could I have maybe done a couple things different? But I do this same thing there's like 40 games, so it's like I'm always thinking about how can I make this a little different, but the intros are going to be the same.
What is what's the difference between like shooting the Clippers and then the AVP? Like, what are the other people expect from you? Or
well, AVP I have more of a job of like editing and producing, so I have all those little clips for you guys.
That's like the quicker turnaround.
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. Yeah. But those aren't as hard to make, I guess. It's just finding the clips after.
Yeah.
So going through, I do have a little tip on like how I shoot to make that process faster. But for the Clippers, it's just basically just all my best clips into just one long video. So it doesn't take that long.
The highlights are pretty easy.
Yeah, and like I have
You
a
know what
specific
the
shot
highlights
list,
are.
and just like pregame, intros, what happens during the timeouts, halftime show, all that kind of stuff. The game stuff is just extra. That's like, crowd shots or like if I want to shoot the game.
That's just you having fun.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Just getting reps.
Yeah. Because my like actual job is to shoot things that happen when the game is not going on.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I could literally sit there and watch the game if I wanted to,
Yeah.
but it's nice to shoot it and
Yeah.
have access like that.
And you can build up like a sick portfolio.
Oh yeah, for sure.
People pay a lot of money to get
Yeah.
those seats.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
just walking around during the game.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes we are limited on like where we can shoot from, but still, it's like there's some games where we're like, if it's a opponent that doesn't get a lot of attention, there's like a national televised game, I can shoot from the floor, which is pretty cool. But
Yeah.
Whoa.
Are you able to take, like, say, the Jazz come in town?
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to shoot, like, because your role for the Clippers isn't in game?
Right.
Could you hit up someone from Utah and be like, "Yo, I'm shooting for the Clippers, but I can shoot
I
the
probably
Jazz."
could, but probably frowned upon.
No, you can't be.
Like
double
I'd to
dipping.
like sell them my
Right.
footage of them. Yeah, probably not.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like which I appreciate. It's like they want everything that I post to be strictly Clippers, which is fine.
Got it.
Yeah, like they don't want you to like post Steph Curry like
Yeah.
scoring 50 on the Clippers, you
Right,
know? So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like
That's fair.
you want to showcase why fans and why people should come
Yeah.
to Clipper games and stuff.
That makes sense.
It would
Yeah.
have been nice if you had known beforehand when we went to Gabby and Laird's that Kawhi was going to be there.
Oh no, right? Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Clipper. Granted, Kawhi does not want cameras around him,
Right.
Probably anytime off basketball,
Yeah.
but that would have been pretty cool, like footage for the fans to see.
yeah, but it's also like that's like his time to like just be.
100%.
That's probably why he goes to Laird. It's like
100%.
hardly have any service. Like you're
Yeah.
underwater for
Yeah,
the workout,
yeah.
and like no one can see you.
He's alone. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I feel like Laird and Gabby, it's like that's a sanctuary.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
for
sure.
people to
Like I
go
just want to
to.
go back just to like hang out.
Yeah.
Like
No, I agree. It's like part of the value. Granted, we bring cameras just so we can bring our fans in on
Right.
it. Like part of the value is going there to like almost meditate. And
I mean,
like,
you were saying it's like
be
your
one with the
Disneyland.
water.
Like you could just go there and just hang.
I literally texted
be so
Gabby.
happy.
I kept texting Gabby this morning. I was hey, off season, I need water. Water training.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. You text Gabby about that every time I run into a book because we have pretty similar reading tastes. I'll just send her a picture of it, and she has read every book I've sent her.
No way.
I'm like,
She's like, oh, it's a good one. You're like, oh, cool.
She's like, yeah, been on it.
Yeah.
All right.
Jeez.
Now my challenge is to find one she hasn't read.
I've already had that author on my podcast.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, pretty much.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I sent her Michael Easter's new book. She's like, oh, I just had him on the podcast. She just listened to it. I'm like, damn. Because when she has those writers on the podcast, like she gets the books before they're even published.
Oh, right, yeah.
And so it's...
Oh, she gets the
so
inside scoop.
Yeah, so she's on it way before I am.
The digital download before
So
it even goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Well, how did you get in with the Clippers? Like, what's the avenue for someone? Because you're self-taught, right?
Everything is self-taught. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, just how I got into this Clipper specifically is it's a long story. I'll make it short. I met
nothing but time.
Sasha
baby.
Vujacic playing beach volleyball.
Uh-huh.
So
A while ago?
yeah. So this was 2014. Him and Blake Griffin had the same trainer who lived.
Robbie?
I think yeah.
Robbie Davis or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm forgetting what his.
I tried to train with him one day. He
Yeah.
didn't have time for me.
So it was those two, and then DeAndre Jordan had him, and then
Yep.
Blake and Sasha would like go play volleyball
Yep.
in the off season. Met them, stayed in contact, been friends with Sasha and Al and Nina, the whole family for a while, and then randomly was at the lakes in El Segundo playing golf. Tommy, who is the digital creator, manager, big boss at the Clippers, was playing golf. Met him, kept in contact, and then 2021, he was like, "Hey, you want to come do some games?" I was like, "Yeah, let's do it."
That's a 7-year long con. You just
Yeah,
had.
yeah. So I mean, like, literally everything that I've gotten or have done has been through connections.
Yeah.
Like, it's been super rare that like I will reach out to that person or like they find me on like my website is so terrible. It's probably like still from 2019 or 2020.
I feel
Yeah.
like people don't even use websites anymore.
Yeah, like
I have
just
a website.
I just send my
Nobody uses it,
like if
probably.
they're like, "Oh, do you have a portfolio or something?" I just send them my Instagram because like
Yeah.
whatever I do on there is like
Right.
basically what I'm doing. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I mean, mostly it's been connections and just being a good person.
Yeah.
What about your start in general? It was kind of just a shot in the dark, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was like just a hobby for so long. I was always into GoPros. I had a GoPro in college.
Yeah.
Had like all the attachments, the chest mount,
Yeah.
the headpiece, and just would make videos back when Instagram was horizontal and 15-second videos.
Okay.
And just messed around with those for a while. And then 2016 or 17, a friend of mine who's in the film industry was selling a camera, and I was like, yeah, I'll buy it. $1,000, camera, a lens. So I had just those two and a couple batteries. Had that up until 2021. I didn't get my first like
No kidding.
Sony camera. Yeah,
And that thing's legit.
yeah.
Dude.
I feel like as soon as I got that, it was just like
You just took off.
business took off. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I met Frances, and then she was like, "You need to be charging this amount of money and doing these things." I was like, "Oh, okay. I can like actually like make a living."
Yeah.
Because before it was like just figuring out, like barely making any money, barely charging anything, and I'm just
Right.
like, they're not gonna hire me if I don't say, "Oh, it's only $200
Right.
bucks for whatever."
And that's, I think, one of the best ways to actually to learn a new skill set and to develop like something. You slowly built this into a full-time freelancing
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
Is that when you do something for really cheap, you're basically getting paid to learn a new skill.
Yeah.
Like instead of paying to go to a class, people are paying you a nominal fee to put together mediocre videos until
Right.
they become pretty dang good videos.
Yeah.
And then like as you go,
Yeah.
that's why I like Upwork and Fiverr. It's just a
Oh, I
bunch
use
of
Fiverr
people
all the time.
getting paid like a cheap amount of money to learn something.
Yeah, yeah.
It's-
I mean,
it's
there's
a pretty
a lot of people have debates on if you should do work for free when you're first starting out
Yeah.
videography, because they're like, oh, then you're taking away work from people that should be getting paid. But it's just like, if you're good enough, they'll pay you. And people that are trying to just get exposure, like that's fine. Let
Yeah.
them practice and
Yeah.
get exposure.
There's something to be said about proof of product, too,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Like,
true. Yeah,
Here's what I can give you.
right,
Now you can pay me.
right, exactly. So
Based
you're not
on
gonna be
what
like,
this is, but like not like, hey, I do good work.
Right.
Want
pay me right now, if I don't have anything to show you.
Yeah, exactly. Show me proof of product, and then we'll get into it. It doesn't have to be a year-long commitment of like, okay, work for a year, and then
Right.
we'll
Right.
see where it goes from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I shot for a full year for free. There's this basketball. It's basically an open run in by USC. It's called Air West, and I just DM'd them one day. I was like, "Hey, can I come in and shoot?" I shot every week for a year. Never charged them, but it was just like my sanctuary. I wanted to do it and try it, and
yeah, it was building value for you, right?
Yeah,
and
and
bonus that it was working for someone else. And all
yeah,
that.
and it was cool. I mean, they had some
Learned a
NBA
lot.
guys come through, and they're well connected in the basketball world. They're all around the Drew League, and
Just kind of like pick up.
yeah, it's basically like
but like
anyone
high
that's
level.
yeah. You have to be like a pro level, even if
Right.
it's European or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
But it was every Wednesday from 7 to 9.
Huh.
I'd go after my day job, and then went home and edit and gave them the video.
We should make one of those for us, for volleyball.
Just like
Open gym.
Open gym. That'd be SANDCAST tour. Just
Where we
keeps getting
show
different
up,
ideas.
where
Yeah.
we just kind of show up and because like we had the national team training sessions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that was kind of like when everyone's like, we don't really want to drill right now. We just
Right.
want to kind of play and rep it out.
do you guys ever do just like king of the court with just all the players?
Yeah,
and just,
I mean a little bit. I feel like we used to do it more, like when you have a 3-team practice or something. That like traditional king of the court, but the national team practice was like where you kind of swap in
Right,
the
right.
courts and just set up on.
Do you guys
one
still
day.
do national team practice, or do they kind of fade as the season starts up?
Davenport never brought it in. So once Jose was gone, Davenport
Oh, that's when it.
never
Okay.
invited the pros back. Or
Got it.
So
sorry,
USA
not pros, the
The
top
non-developmentals.
guys, non-developmentals, yeah.
Got it.
So you guys
It's kinda
haven't had
bad.
like a national team practice at all for a while?
No, we haven't had one since Jose left. I don't even. That was like
And
beginning of the year,
Yeah, and probably even before that.
preseason, basically.
How are you not going to have
I
USA
know.
practice before Olympics?
I have no idea.
Well, that's a weird. It's hard because I remember when they brought Tyler Hildebrand in, and everyone's like, "Well, how's this going to work?" Because he's the coach of everyone,
Right.
but everyone's also competing against each other, and like, I don't really want to. Like, you're not going to tell Chase
No.
how he could block better, and
You're-
Taylor Crabb's not going to like be coaching Kame on defense. So it's like it's competitive, but it's also kind of that like you made the title "Iron Sharpens Iron,"
Yeah.
where you do want the best to be getting after
Yeah.
it.
Well, what the national team's doing, like what Hildebrand and Jose was doing, is trying to just give opportunity
Yeah.
for us to compete against each other, and then he's kind of coaching the coaches
Yeah.
and like giving tips here and there. It's not the most efficient system, in my opinion.
But also, like, there's not that many practice players that you can get for beach volleyball because they're all
no, you
high level. So, I mean, it's
Exactly.
like they're all competing.
That's
also.
why we all like beach volleyball. You have to like check your ego a lot. Other sports is like,
Yeah.
I'm not talking to my opponents. I'm not
Yeah.
Yeah.
letting them see my practice sessions or anything.
can you
We're just
imagine-
like, guys? We just gotta play against each other and be friends.
Yeah,
'cause
right.
That's really toxic to not.
Yeah.
And then we need to just suck it up and compete on the court. Like that's just something you have to accept.
Like,
Yeah.
can you imagine Steph Curry just like rebounding for LeBron? Like, that would never happen.
Oh, 100%.
That would never happen.
Exactly.
So that's like the rare Olympic year for basketball.
Mhm.
Is like the only time that those
Right.
dudes are pretty good friends.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, when they're playing on the Olympic team, yeah.
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 Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, but that's why like I think that my level is kind of the perfect level to be at for
Mhm.
practice because we're like not a good threat
Yeah.
for like the tries and cames. So we'll get a lot of calls to go up and say
Mhm.
like, well, like try and came don't really want to show their cards against like the Taylors.
Right.
So they'll just call up like the low level main draw teams. We're like, we're good enough to practice against and they can work on stuff. But like when we play them in the main draw, they're like, we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm about not have to worry, but yeah.
Not as much
Just
anyway.
don't lose to Travis.
Yeah. Have you ever lost to Travis?
Not yet.
No, he's 3-0. We played each other 3
Oh,
times.
you only played
last
3
year.
times? Okay.
Yeah. It took us a while. The first time we played was Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
And we should have won the second set.
That was last year?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were up 18-14 and then just shit our pants. Yeah. And we should have gone to 3 again in Central Florida the
Yeah,
first time.
That's true. That was a tight one. Me and Hayden.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we had a free ball and set point and we doubled.
By we, you mean you or your partner?
No, it wasn't me. Sorry, Jay.
Yeah.
That was a fun match. Yeah, we only played each other 3 times, and 2 of them came in the same tournament.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was also something I was super impressed how you can just literally remember plays of not even just like when you played.
Yeah.
Like from
Yeah,
2
I had
years
no
ago,
idea.
he'll be
18,
like,
14.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
double. I have zero.
like even when I'm
recollection of any
filming,
of that.
people are like, "Oh, do you like remember all the shots you got?" I have zero idea.
Yeah,
Like-
it's a blessing and a curse. It's I think that's like a golfer specific attribute, where I can walk you back through like full 18 holes I played in high school, where like you just because golf you're golfing
You
for
have to
4
know that,
hours
yeah.
and you're only golfing for like a minute.
That's like
all you do is
your
thinking.
brain's built different.
Yeah.
You and Evie, or like that's like Geeter, right? Geeter was saying he can do that.
Yeah.
I'm like a goldfish,
Yeah.
in and out.
Yeah, literally.
Which has its attributes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I fully embrace it.
Yeah. Yeah, but it is actually super helpful commentating,
That's true.
because a lot of times like
For sure.
they'll switch the courts, and so the match you prepped for is no longer the match you get, and you only have 2 minutes, and you're like, okay, I got France's twos versus Italy's twos,
Yeah.
and you're like,
But I'm sure you know who exactly
pretty
who they are.
Yeah, and so you pretty much just have to go on whatever you knew prior, whatever you had stored up in your
Oh my
head, and so
gosh.
it's
Which for me and Try would probably be nothing.
Yeah. So like I need
They're from France.
I
and,
need my Travis when I'm broadcasting.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I need my.
Oh, I would need notes. I would
podcasting.
need the whole thing, an iPad just going.
I had big time notes going
Yeah.
all the time because I was
Like
just
I was watching him in
remember.
Mexico, no notepad, no nothing.
No,
Just sitting there watching the game.
it's amazing.
I'm like, do you want to reference anything at all? Like at all?
Imagine how much homework. Like realistically, if I just hosted this podcast, I would have to do homework on
Oh, for sure.
basically every.
I would have to
athlete.
have,
That's
like,
not the
Yeah.
best-
on where the
one of
camera
my
is, just
close
like-
friends.
Teleprompter. Just all right. What do I remember what to talk about?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll do I watch a ton of film, and I'll like handwrite stuff out the night
Yeah.
before, and I think when you handwrite something, there's like the connection from handwriting to the brain is a lot better than typing on a screen to
Yeah,
the
I
brain
agree.
or just
I agree.
seeing it. And once you do that, I don't know, it just sort of locks it in, and then I can kind of like take like a mental snapshot of like what the page looks like, and I
Yeah.
can kind of reference that
Yeah. I was
as
gonna
we
say,
go.
do you like write it and that's most of the memorization exercise, or is
Yeah.
it writing it and then reading it over? Because like a lot of times, just I only need to write it down.
Yeah, true.
And I never refer back to it.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Yeah.
like the fact that I got it out made me remember it better.
That's exactly. I never reference or read it over again. I'll just handwrite it out, and it'll just stick there.
Yeah.
Which is it's super helpful. And honestly, like the Road to Paris series has helped me commentating so much, because that like I have to handwrite quite a bit, just
Right.
like just the outline and the bullet points I want to make. But then when I'm commentating, it's way easier for me to reference that, because I've already handwritten it, and then I talked about it,
Right.
and then I probably interacted with people on like YouTube or Instagram about it, and so it's just like triple staking power.
Yeah. Yeah, like I just did the AVP award videos, and there's so many clips that because I had to go through and just like look at for clips for everybody. I'm like, oh wow, I didn't even know I had this clip, or like didn't even know this even happened,
Yeah.
or even who won this match. Unless it was championship point, like I couldn't tell you who won.
Yeah.
Unless it was you, because I was filming you too.
Right.
But like, no
Do you
idea.
have like a storage, like a filing system for your clips to make it easier to go back through that stuff? Triborn
I
Kill,
will.
Theo Block.
I will moving forward, because I mean I have like some sort of an organization. Like I have it by match, and then how I shoot when there's a good clip. Like let's say Try gets a nice side out, but like it wasn't like super cool, or
Yeah.
like wouldn't be an Instagram reel.
Yeah.
I'll just like after that clip, I'll shoot the ground for 1 second, and then so you'll have a clip. After the clip, it'll be just a black screen. So I'm like, oh, something before that was good.
Okay.
And then if it's like something really good, like Try gets a stuff block or like good reaction or something, I'll do it twice.
Okay.
So then when I go through, I'm just like, all right,
It's like a bookmark.
yeah, exactly. It's just like tagging the clip,
You
and
think
then
they would just have a button for that?
I'm sure they have it on some
tag
cameras,
last
but I
video
just
button.
haven't. That's just how I've done it literally since the beginning. So, but that helps a lot, because I'm just like, I don't have to worry about anything that doesn't have a double mark.
Right.
Do you talk to other videographers about how they do like their systems for bookmarking stuff?
Most of them do what I do.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just mostly just because, especially when there's such a quick turnaround, you have
Yeah.
to be able to just reference a clip real quick.
Yeah.
Especially on the AVP, it's like I pull probably anywhere between 20 and 40 like individual clips from the day
Yeah.
and have it uploaded to Dropbox the next day. So that just.
What if you had little like referee yellow card, red card, and you just bust it out and you.
Yeah, what's his
So
name? Chad.
Reference colors like green means Instagram reel.
Chad has Chad has an interesting system. He like holds numbers up in front of the screen. He's like 2 is like a client that he's shooting for, 3 is like the opponent, and like maybe they did something good. But he's got like a full on like
hand code
gang sign system he's got going on. So if you ever see him shooting and it's just like
that's so funny.
Points at the camera or something. Yeah. I'm just like I have so many of just like my feet. Because I'll just point it down.
Right.
So it's just like my foot.
Left foot is a stuff block. Right foot.
Yeah. But I do now doing those awards, I'm like, oh, I just wish I had like all like banger clips. Yeah. Like all sick blocks.
Yeah.
Put them in there, all sick digs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just didn't organize it.
That's a lot too, right? Like
yeah, because it was 16 videos that we did for the AVP awards.
Damn.
So, yeah.
You did what? I mean, that's 8 per gender, probably.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You're like, damn, try didn't win any
awards.
I was
just like, I have literally so much footage of trying. I was just like, guy couldn't win one award. Which good. But you won basically all of them last year, so.
Yeah, I didn't want to be rude.
Yeah,
I had to
that's
share.
true.
You had to share the wealth.
Yeah,
but it was kind of nice that most of the same people won most of the awards. I think like Kristen Nuss won 3 of them, so that was pretty easy to just like go to her matches. But
Kristen, Miles.
I feel like they didn't announce it very well. Because I mean, they did it. They did it the standard way, Instagram and then the email. But like, I didn't know. I was kind of off the map a little bit.
Yeah.
I just wasn't on Instagram for a few days, but I was like, I wonder if the awards happened.
Well, like who votes for the awards? They just told me who they were. I have zero idea how like it went down.
Players voted, which is cool. I think that's the right way to go about it.
I just saw an email yesterday about like here who won, but then like this is actually how they were in the stats, and like some people were like 5th.
That was a good idea.
They were like 5th in the stats, but they still won the award.
Yeah. I was actually surprised in that one. It's like almost the old Phil factor with like Taylor, where it's like, well, I don't know. I still feel like Taylor's the best defender. Screw it.
Yeah, and I think like having seen
there's also a lot of bias.
Yeah,
like oh, screw that guy. I'm not giving him the award.
Right.
True.
Like having watched how college coaches will do the NCAA coaches poll. They just like half of them are just like screw it, or they just give it to like the director of whatever. And I think a lot of players were just like wouldn't have looked at the stats.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
the Taylor was like almost 3 digs per set lower than Kame.
Right.
But he won the defensive player of the year, and I was like, Taylor, like if you were just saying, I need one defender to play behind me for a year.
Right.
Taylor's probably going to be a lot of people's pick, but if you just look at it from this year's standpoint, I don't think he had the best defensive season, but he might be the best defensive player.
Right.
I didn't vote for him this year. I did. I think you have to look at the stats.
Oh, so you did look at the stats?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They gave us stats to look at. Like I think it's pretty dumb to not look at the stats.
Did you just vote like whoever was the top stat person?
No, not necessarily. I think winning has a lot to do with it, in my opinion, because you might be timing really good timing with your blockers. Your blocker's getting a lot of digs because your timing's so good on defense and you guys are in such good sync. Whereas like someone that's not quite as much like trying to set up their blocker might be getting more digs or more touches because they're kind of just like scrambling for everything. I don't know. But also like winning to me is like the player of the year is going to be if you win more events than other teams, the player of the year's got to come from that team. The team of the year is going to be that team, unless it's like something crazy. Like, but that's just not how beach volleyball works. You don't have like the best player with the worst player ever.
Yeah.
I thought it was. I had Theo and Trev in there.
I thought they were going to win something
at least once.
Yeah.
I had Trev as my defensive player of the year was Trev.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also think a lot of people took into consideration the World Tour, which I don't do.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's a different tour, different game.
Right.
Yes, Andy and Miles were by far the best team internationally. But their resume matched Trevor and Theo's, and then Trevor and Theo played in one extra and got another top 3. Right. So that's my team of the year.
Right.
In my opinion. Like if I was them, I'd be like, I I wish we won that. Like,
right. Oh, for
I
sure.
think they deserved it.
I feel like, if you
Showing
play
up is half the thing.
If you play as as
Granted,
many as
they
they
win
did,
and won Stad, so like I get the argument. They won like the biggest.
but that's
event.
not an AVP event.
It's not an AVP.
So
to
you shouldn't be considered in the AVP awards.
And then if you're gonna give them Team of the Year, then you're probably gonna give one of them MVP, and that just changes.
That's
a
true.
lot.
Yeah,
it changes. It's a life changer.
Yeah, and there's a lot of other factors too, especially when you look at the blocker and defender, because like Taylor, for example, didn't have as many digs per set as I think it was like Kame, Avery, Partain, maybe Chase Frischman.
Yeah, Kame was like the top. I would have had no idea, and he's behind me.
And but then do you factor in the fact that Taylor Crabb's playing behind a guy who's blocking on his second year on the beach versus an Andy Benish, who's 6'9", and like how many digs is Taylor Crabb leaving on the table by playing with a smaller, less experienced block? You know what I mean?
Trev had him and Andy and Theo were the highest blockers, right, this year?
Yeah.
So that's digs taken away, I guess, right? Like those guys are touching everything.
Yeah.
And when when people are shooting, they're going a lot higher.
Yeah.
The high line's a lot higher.
He's got a lot more room.
Yeah. So, I have so many videos of Andy getting blocks. I was trying to find something different because he also won most improved, and I was like, all right, something besides a block. It's like all I had was just like stuff blocks.
Dude, your trio of him blocking use of crew.
Oh yeah, and that was all three in a row too. That was sick. It was just like it was in the third set. Yeah, and just 1, 2, 3, and I was like, you gotta do something different if I'm the other guy. Shoot or do something else. Go on 2.
Yeah, he had the perfect kind of combination of everything coming together this year, where it's like obviously he has the size and the talent.
Yeah,
but he was fundamentally really good. Obviously, working with that team, they just have an amazing system with their coach as well. And then he had his defenders just like, you could tell he's just timing everything well and like knows exactly where, like Andy knows exactly where he wants to be and what he wants to take. And then, you put his physicality, his technique and that, and it was like, yeah, he's just feeling it this year.
Yeah. And he was healthy.
And he's healthy.
The first year he's been healthy since he started playing beach.
Right.
Wow.
Like he's always jacking up his
with
ankle.
One teammate. He's had fairly consistent teammates, but it was like switching every year almost, right? For a while.
And then last year, he popped around with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
So it was like Miles Evans for a little bit. I don't know. Was that?
This is Miles Evans.
That's just I had no
I
idea.
remember Nick and Billy. That's all I remember.
Yeah. And
Phil, he played.
I just remember Casey because Phil got hurt for the in the arena.
Casey too.
Yeah. That last tournament.
Yes, he's played with a lot of people.
Casey, Phil. He's played with everyone. Way more partners than I've had.
Yeah. Dude, I was laughing about it because this year I played with a record. For me, it was like someone new every tournament.
Yeah, literally.
I played with as many people named Jake this year as you have played with people in your career. You played with 3 partners.
Yeah.
This year I played with Jake Dietrich in Manhattan. I played with Jake Urrutia in Denver and Chicago, and we won a CBVA, and then I finished the year playing a CBVA with my brother-in-law, Jake.
No way.
Played with 3.
Damn, bro, you get around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a little slut.
I wish we still had the Pokey Awards for the Village Bicycle. Dude, I would have had that under wrap this year.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we need to bring back the awards banquet.
Yeah.
The SANDCAST awards.
Yeah.
Probably not.
You guys should just do your own awards.
Well, that's something we could do, like that Friday night episode.
Ooh.
And that we can get you coming in behind the scenes, just get like a big bottle of whiskey and some bartender in the box and just cruise and just talk about the season.
Yeah. And maybe what's coming next, because I have no idea what this new... I got that email. I'm just like, makes no sense to me.
I don't even know. I was in an hour-long meeting, and I'm still like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, not even sure what this is going to turn into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping they bring me back.
It'll be super interesting. Well, actually, that's another thing.
They do listen to the podcast, so
that's
the new owners.
We request Frito.
Because my contract was for this season, so I have zero idea.
Gotcha.
About what's coming next season.
Were you on like a per event basis, or did they just give you?
At the beginning, it was like a per event, and then I think it was after New Orleans. It was just like we'll just sign something for the rest of the year.
Got it.
Yeah.
Cool. But how'd you get your foot in the door with beach? Because were you Clippers first and then beach?
No, I started shooting beach for M Day and Britt Hochaver.
Wow, that's a throwback.
Yeah, maybe like 17. That was when I first got my camera. It's 2017. met Brett through Sasha.
Okay.
They were doing sand dune workouts, and I filmed some stuff for her. And then, so when her and M-Day won Manhattan in like 2017 or 18, I was shooting for them. And then I don't think I shot the 2018 season. No. I think, so 2021 was my first season back. That was with the McKibbins, I believe. Yeah, there was like 3 events in 2021. It was after the COVID year. I think it was just the Gold Series, Manhattan, Chicago, and Atlanta.
Yeah.
And then with McKibbins again last year, and then AVP this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that beach is such a great sort of like foundational because you have so much freedom. You have more freedom with beach volleyball to do whatever you want than any other sport. Yeah. Like the Clippers, I'm sure they give you their rules and for good reason because that's like a hyper professional organization,
for sure.
like bringing in billions in revenue every year. Yeah. And then, but the AVP, they're just like, go for it.
Oh yeah, and I can, since I'm like the staff videographer, I can literally go anywhere I want to shoot anywhere. Yeah. Clippers, that would not fly.
Yeah, and your access to the players in beach volleyball is unparalleled to any other sport in the world.
Yeah, I don't even think I have Clippers locker room access, but not that I would want to go in there. Like, they'd be like, "What are you doing in here?" But
why are you shooting me in the shower?
Yeah, but I guess now we're not even supposed to shoot in the players' tent.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like the one like sacred space that you guys have. So, which I get, but like, I think I'm also not gonna show anything that you guys wouldn't want to be seen. Like I know what.
I think it's an interesting place for it's not a locker room, first of all.
Yeah.
And it's an
just like a lounge
place for fans to like. They're always like, "What's going on in there?"
Yeah.
You know, it's like.
I think it's so interesting that you guys all just like, not that you guys all hang out in there, but like. It's a locker room for everyone.
Is that we like, we're like, we have to sit.
Like you're literally having lunch next to your opponent.
Like, F you, but like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, like pass the salt.
Like, weird, yeah. Or you like sit on the other table, like back to back with them. And
yeah.
Like, oh, God damn it.
I always thought like if you lose to someone, like you have to go back in there and like grab a banana, and they're also like grabbing something. You're like,
you gotta walk.
It's a fascinating like little social experiment. I mean, it's so funny. But I think one thing I've noticed is that most of the higher level players don't hang out there a whole lot. Most of you guys, like, you're not hanging out there.
I feel like I spent half my life in players' tents, but that's just because I'm on the road all the time.
Yeah. Well, maybe international, I feel like might be different. But I don't know. AVP, most of the time when I'm in there, it's like the lower level guys are like, we're in the players' tent. Right. We're hanging out. We're making use of
this.
We
get lunch.
That's one of the coolest, I guess, like, experiences for like rookies and people who haven't been on. Like I always like have to be reminded, like when they're in there, like just saying hi to like people who are new and they're like, oh my God, I'm in. Like when I was younger, I was like, holy crap, I'm in the players tent with Dahlhauser and Rogers right now. Like, this is nuts.
Yeah, imagine being in the qualifier, making it, and then you're in the MBO in the same like room as these legends.
Like, I'm actually in the tent. I was like the fan out there, like looking in, like, oh, I'm not allowed to go in there.
Yeah.
And so now, like, I at least want to, like, you know, talk to the rookies and, like, just to remind, because usually I'm like, it's not that I don't want to talk to you guys. It's just like, well, they probably don't want to talk to me. I don't, like, who cares? We're all volleyball players.
Right.
And then, like, eventually you do talk to that rookie. Even it was Taryn and Kristen, you know, like 2 years ago. Like, I'm tripping out right now.
Yeah.
It's like, why? Like, because I'm in the tent with all you guys.
I mean, they're like, literally still like that.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, they're
kind of still like that.
Yeah. In Mexico, they were like, oh my gosh, we're playing in a bull ring in front of like so many fans. I'm like, yo, you guys are like one of the top teams in the world. Like, you should be used to this.
Win this
yeah, like, but it's just so cool that they're just so humble like that. Just like,
well, it's just so
they love everything about it.
Because like last March, they were like 15th on the reserve list for futures.
Yeah, right.
Now they're the number 2 team in the world. Which is it's bananas.
So rad.
Are they number 2 now?
Yeah.
Wow. Is it still Brazil number 1?
Yeah, but I mean by a long shot. They're so far ahead.
It's so crazy that
it's like the one Brazilian team that's doing well. So thank you to those girls.
How is the team ahead by a long shot? Like our girls have been doing so good. Yeah. Well, the fact that they're ahead by a long shot.
Is it because they just won that many more tournaments than our girls?
I mean they've won as many golds as I think as Kelly and Sarah and Kristen and Taryn have combined to win medals.
Yeah. Oh, medals.
Dude, they're now doing what was, I guess, expected. Like Duda was the prodigy. It was like,
how old are those girls?
Out quite as much.
Duda's still a baby. She's like 24.
24?
And Anna Patricia's about the same age.
Wait, they're that young?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah. Well, Duda.
And they've been on tour for a while. Yeah. So, like, young veterans.
Yeah.
Duda was voted MVP, like best player in the world, when she was 18.
Wow.
So it feels like she's been around.
All right,
like
I'm gonna test Trav. So who were the Americans when she was 18? Who was like the top American women's team?
Well, I think that would have been a Misty Carey.
No,
that would have been maybe a Carey.
You said 18?
April. She was so that would have been about 6 years ago, just 20. So that would have been Carey April.
Yeah, 17, 18. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
dude, it's real, man.
Try and I were just like, I don't even know who was. I would have guessed Alex in April, but that was way after. So
yeah,
that was. I don't know.
I feel like they didn't play together that long, Alex and April. Like they got together real quick and then won gold, and then now they got babies.
Well, it's easy for us to date it because our, like, I don't know, third episode was with April at your kitchen table, and we had a couple glasses of wine, and April's like, my agent's going to be mad at me for saying this, but I'm announcing on this podcast.
That's amazing.
So that was the fall of 2017.
And then they won that first tournament they played in, right?
In The Hague, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, an indoor event.
Were you there?
No.
Because the country quota, there's a conspiracy theory about that country quota. Because April and Alex were down to Britt Hochever and maybe M Day. In like the second set, they lost the first, and the power goes out. And so it's like a 45-minute reset. April, Alex come back, win the next country quota match, and don't drop a set the rest of the tournament.
Wow. Wasn't that something like that in the Super Bowl? Like the lights went out, and then
when the Ravens won.
Oh, look at you!
Yeah,
asterisk, bro. I need some lights going out for my bikes.
Yeah.
Monday Night Football, so I'm wrapping them.
I didn't even remember it was Monday.
Wild. What a journey for those two.
Yeah, but now it's fun to see that they're both moms.
Yeah,
loving life.
Yeah,
yeah. And so April's boy's named Ross.
Yeah,
Ross Riley. And I'm
so
just
cool.
like Ross. I get
Ross Riley's pretty good though.
Ross Riley's
a
strong name.
Yeah.
Well, before you were like full-time video, you mentioned you had a day job. What were you doing before this life?
Yeah, I was
weren't having as much fun.
No, had a 9 to 5, which going from Division I college athlete to sitting at a desk 8 hours was just like, this is rough. Especially because I also redshirted.
And you went to Cal Bap.
Cal Bap, yeah. Okay. Played volleyball at Cal Bap. I redshirted my freshman year, so I was like, oh, I can go back and get a master's or something and then play one more year. But then I was like, oh, I got a job right out of college, so I'll just do that. I had a girlfriend at the time, and I was just like, oh, I'll just be home. She's done with college too. And then I was just like, wow, this sucks. Like, I see the team like balling. We had like some good players still, and then I'm just like putting numbers into Excel.
Oh, what were you doing?
It was a business management marketing job. I mean, it was fine. It was like a good first experience. Got to travel a little bit, but you're at a desk, 8 hours. The only thing that was cool that I, now looking back with doing what I do now, because now it's like I'm working 24/7. Like there's no structure to my world of work. It's like last night I was working till 11:30. Got a Clippers game tonight, but what I loved was just like as soon as it was 5 o'clock, like I didn't think about it till 9 o'clock the next day.
Right.
And it was before like, I guess it wasn't too early, but like I didn't have the email on my phone or anything like that, and like didn't get calls on the weekend, so it was just like that was nice.
Not waking up in the middle of the night with ideas.
Yeah, literally, But it was just like
my life. It's like it's off season. Shut up.
Yeah.
God damn it. How do I fix this? Like, dude, you have 2 months off. Like, nope. Got to fix it at 2 a.m.
Yep, it's the only time.
How is it going to be for you the next 2 months? Are you
I have
just
no
like
idea. I don't know what my brain will allow me to do.
Yeah.
Hawaii will be good.
I got stuff.
Yeah, you're going to Hawaii, right? 5 weeks.
That's why I get in the water.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to worry about your problems when a wave's just holding you underwater.
Yeah, literally. You got other problems that are immediate, right? Then
you have real
I
problems.
guess that's not that big of an issue. I should probably go breathe first.
Yeah.
Or just go do 20 backflips in the Laird pool.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's what I'm looking to do.
Well, now you finally have the space to think, and so now I feel like all the brainstorming you've had to suppress is just like just explode.
Well, I also think like I can't like try to figure it out. Like, oh, day one of off season, I'll figure it out, and then like no, like you have to like let it figure itself out somewhat, and so yeah, that's a whole
that must be
podcast.
tough though. I don't know if like you just like let something just slowly try and, because for what I do, it's like, it's pretty immediate. Like you take a photo, you take a video, you edit it, boom, it's done.
Dude.
There's not like, I mean, there's some jobs you're like waiting to, you know, hear what's next, but like.
Yeah, it's almost like if you were to start a business around, like a big business around, and then you have to figure out all these crazy moving parts. You're like, I can do my piece, but I need this person to do their piece and these people to do their pieces, and then I need to do it at certain times, and it's all got to come together at the right time, and so it gets a little nuts.
Yeah,
and you're like, and you're the boss of it too, you know.
Podcast, I'm the boss. Exactly.
Like if stuff goes wrong, it's all on you. It's how it is for me too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's like the, there's the trade-offs, right?
Yeah.
'Cause you have your 9 to 5, but then you can shut it off.
Yeah, literally.
Shut off the machine.
So
something goes wrong, you can pass it on to whoever is higher up than you or whatever.
You got to be built for it.
Yeah.
Built to be your own boss.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
it's pretty tough.
You can't be like waking up like, I don't want to go to work today. Like,
yeah.
It's just not really an option.
Well, even just like if I get sick, I'm like, well, shoot, like I don't have anyone else that can like take over for me. It's not like I can call in sick. Oh, can't shoot this, you know, gold medal match. I'm not feeling well.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I was just like worried in Mexico. It's like if I get the Montezuma's, like, oh, what am I gonna do? Luckily, came out free, but like.
Yeah, we were one of the few, man. We stayed healthy the whole time.
I didn't eat anything at the Players Hotel, so that was.
It's funny because I ended
you
up
did
going to
though,
the Players
right?
Hotel like the last probably 4 or 5 mornings.
I was good until I got back, and then like as I was about to leave to India, I got something, which isn't a great place to go.
No,
with already
like
kind
my
of jacked
whole
up
like beginning of India,
especially when your partner's just getting clobbered by it.
He was just
so
wrecked.
brutal.
He was getting the life sucked out of him.
Yeah,
the whole end of the year.
Yeah, that's why when you guys were debating Philippines, is like call the fight.
I'm like I'm very like end of the year is where I shine kind of thing.
Yeah,
'cause it's like I like it when people fall off and then I gas pedal it. But that just wasn't really in the cards this year.
Yeah.
It's so interesting because, like, although I work in volleyball with you guys, like, when it's World Tour, I have zero idea what's going on unless I'm with you or, like, I see the Road to Paris. Like,
well, that's why it was cool to bring you on the road.
Yeah.
Was that your first World Tour?
First ever, international. Yeah, it was really cool.
And that's cool because I sent out, because the FIVB stopped doing player awards. And so I was like, well...
Yeah, why did they do that?
I don't know.
It's so lame because, like, what an amazing opportunity
That's
for
a good,
us.
like, marketing piece for you guys, right?
Yeah,
you can
it's
say,
so
like,
valuable
MVP
for us. It's
of
like,
but that's
the World
why,
Tour.
especially when you're not paying, you're not paying great prize money. Like, can you at least give us this opportunity?
Yeah. Give us a nice title.
I think it just disappeared during COVID and they just never brought it back. But
great excuse.
But that's why...
COVID's been gone for, what, 3
that's
years?
why I'm bringing it back this year, though, because I sent out a poll to the IBVPA. I was like, this is 100% player voted.
Right.
But I added best event just to see what the players thought. And it's overwhelmingly right now for World Championships, which I think says something for the fans in the atmosphere because everyone got sick and still voted for it as best event.
True.
Yeah. So your first taste was like almost a unanimous number one.
And
Number two surprised me.
Oh, it ain't all that good, Frito. Trust me.
Yeah.
You should
Well, I know it was cool because, like,
after.
well,
Granted, it was kind of a nice hotel and all that, but
my Airbnb in Mexico started off real rough.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had to bail 5 days in and bunk in with Trav because it was construction. Like, where the camera is how close I was to the bar. Like, my room was right here. There was a bar just on the other side of the walkway.
Oh god.
And they were playing karaoke till God knows what time.
Yeah.
I mean, luckily I'm a heavy sleeper, so like, but just trying to focus on anything else besides that while I'm awake, I'm like, all right, I gotta bail.
Editing while someone's
I have like noise canceling headphones, but I can like still feel the vibration of the bass or them like sawing things down above me. I'm like, dude, this is just not it. Ugh.
That's exactly what you dreamed of when you got out of the 9 to 5 to free.
Yeah.
How hard was it for you to make the jump though? Because that's a hard thing to do, to go from guaranteed salary, relative stability, benefits, and then you make the plunge into, like, you have no boss.
There's no money starting out.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm assuming.
And I did it not the best way. I didn't have like 6 months saved up. I kind of just went for
Burned
it.
the boats.
Yeah, I mean, I had like some life changes. I got divorced, and then moved in with my mom. saved up some money. So I paid off my debt, which was good.
That's
like I had
huge.
probably like 10 or 15K in like credit card debt, from the past wedding and random stuff. And then once I was debt free, a friend of mine was like, "Hey, you want to move in August?" And I was like, "Oh, that's kind of soon," because we split in like January of that year. And then I was like, you know what, like my life is already being flipped upside down. I'm just gonna do something else. I had been doing the media stuff on the side, but it was like on the weekends or in the evenings.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine, Carly, who's an amazing hair stylist, did celebrity hair in LA for a while. She's like, when your media work gets in the way of like your day job, that's when you know you can like make the switch. So like I had so much editing to do that I couldn't do at my 9 to 5, or like opportunities would show up and be like, "Oh, can you come to a shoot Tuesday?" And I'm like, "Well, I work Tuesday." So when all that happened, I was like, all right, I think it's just time to just.
That's a good little rule of thumb.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. But I guess for like the human brain, you're only supposed to do like one major life change in a year. I think I did like 3 or 4 in like a few months. So like, it was rough for a while. Like I was in therapy, like did the whole thing. Like, I mean, I had so much help from my parents. And then actually COVID like was kind of not the worst thing for me, because it gave me some time to like really slow down and like really learn some new skills, and just because I was just like, I quit my job, I went right into it.
Yeah.
I didn't really have the time to like learn new things. And not that I was super busy, but just trying to get clients, but also learn new skills is pretty tough to do all in one. So COVID, I was able to slow down, learn some new skills, and then saved up some money, and then bought my new camera, and then literally took off from there. Did the AVP, made good connection with the Mpu, and then did the McGregor job.
Oh yeah.
Did a week with McGregor, and
Wait,
then
what was the McGregor job?
I traveled with it was a title tour. He has like this cryotherapy spray.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if he's like maybe he's just like the owner of it, or like put a bunch of money into it.
Yeah.
But we toured. It was LA, Chicago, and
it's like that soccer
Miami.
spray where the
it's
guys
just
flop and go down, and then they're like, "Shh, he's good." Not that it doesn't work.
Yeah. Oh, did we get cut off?
No, I'm just making sure.
Oh.
I couldn't see if this was plugged in. I just had to make sure.
But yeah, so did a week with him and Mpu. So it was just that's when I learned to do like you gotta just crank the content out, because I had to have a video up the next day.
Yeah.
So we had the first day was LA. We flew red eye to Chicago. That whole flight.
Did you fly with McGregor?
No. Mpu and I flew coach.
I was going to say that would have been an experience.
Right, yeah.
You bring you on private
Yeah. I did fly home private, though. That was pretty cool. So from Miami to LA, but not with him. He stayed in Miami, but it was like all the rest of the crew.
No way.
We flew back private, and it was just like super cool.
Dude, yeah, how's that experience like?
You can't stand up in a private plane. It's so small. Yeah.
Huh. But like you went from like 9 to 5 to like winging it, screw it, to like shooting McGregor. You're now shooting the Clippers.
Yeah.
Like
that all happened within a few
athletes
months.
in the world.
Yeah.
Even soccer.
Went from AVP to McGregor to Clippers. And what's crazy is I had this client, I won't say who it is. I got a text from his agent. They tried to they just basically use and abuse me for a while. Right. And I just too dumb to realize what was happening. And then I basically told him, this is when I was freshly dating Frances. She's like, "Wait, you're going to do this for this much money? That's just, you're letting them walk all over you." So I was like, all right. I put my foot down a little bit. The guy sends me a text. I still have it screenshotted. I kind of look at it every once in a while. It's actually kind of around this time that he sent it back in 2021. It was just basically like, "I put you on, you don't know what you're doing. Like, your business is going to flop now because this is just bad business practice. You're going to not know what you're doing," and all this stuff. Literally got that text. I was pretty down in the dumps from it.
Yeah.
Within a couple weeks, I got the McGregor stuff, Clippers, Galaxy, just literally business couldn't have boomed anymore, and I've literally have boomed ever since. This is the best year I've ever had.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Financially, and just the most fun. And
the agent just felt entitled.
Yeah, he was just like, "Oh, I put you on." It's just you introduced me to people, but I'm the one that kept the connections and did the good work to have them bring me back and stuff. So it's I appreciate it, but you weren't the one doing the day-to-day work to keep the relationship going.
Yeah.
And also the people you introduced me to, yeah, there was great people and whatnot, but like I didn't get paid that much from them.
Right.
But yeah, it was just funny to like think about. He basically told me like,
thanks for the inspiration.
Yeah, like literally. There's been so many times I'm like, ooh, like if only he would see where I'm at now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Maybe he does.
Maybe he does, shout out if you're still watching.
It's
Thanks
really
for the motivation.
cool too that Mpu hooked you up.
Oh yeah.
Because it can be a competitive cutthroat
sure.
industry
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
like in some ways it can be a zero-sum game where if you get a contract with McGregor, that means that someone else doesn't.
Right.
And that's awesome that Mpu gave you the
Yeah, and we
brought
like
you along.
had not worked together that long, but like it was just those couple AVP events, and like I was there with the McKibbins, so it's not like I was working directly with the AVP that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just hit me up and was like, "Hey, like I have this opportunity. Like, are you down to just like rough it and just go for it?" And I was just like, "Yeah, let's do it."
Sick.
Yeah, and then we've done that together. We've done the NFL draft together.
Cool.
We followed Aiden Hutchinson and his family for the NFL draft week. That was super cool.
Who was that through? A team, an agent?
That was through Mpu, who knew Aiden's agent.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so he just wanted.
Yes,
like,
we did
kind
the
of
same
PTSD
thing.
with
Mpu
him.
does all the photos. I did
Cool.
the video, and then
And
it's
Mpus
just
mostly Chargers as well, right?
he does
does a lot of
Chargers. He
Chargers.
does X Games. He does a bunch of stuff. He's kind of like me. We're just kind of has a little bit of things everywhere. But yeah, no, Mpu's
He's the guy.
amazing. Yeah, he's the GOAT.
Yeah, we gotta have him on as well.
Yeah.
'cause he's like
I was just thinking
the
that.
guy.
How have we not had Mpu on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Off season's like the perfect time
Yeah.
to get like you and Mpu and kind of
Yeah, I
everyone
mean,
else
the
in
thing
the
is,
industry.
like for us though, it's like when one thing ends, it's already the next
Yeah.
sport. Like AVP ended, literally Clippers started shortly after.
Yeah.
And then when like Clippers starts to slow down, that's when like the LA Galaxy picks up again.
That's kind of perfect.
And then AVP starts again.
Yeah.
But
Is it fun for you to switch gears? Like, does that help with burnout?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Cause like I can imagine the people that are staff on like the Clippers or Galaxy, like they travel to do like away games and stuff too.
Right.
It's like, that's a lot of basketball.
Yeah.
It's a lot of trying to make something different that's not really that different.
Yeah.
Right.
So like being able to shoot volleyball, basketball, soccer.
Probably makes you more creative too.
Yeah, and you can
bring
all-
stuff you learned
Exactly.
from volleyball to basketball.
Yeah, I've done some of that stuff with AVP, just like bringing some things that I see or do in
Yeah.
basketball or whatever, I bring into the AVP scene, which
Yeah.
I hope you guys appreciate. Like how like as athletes, do you guys appreciate the content? Do you guys wish you had
We definitely
different stuff?
We definitely recognize when like you guys make a clip that like makes us look good. You know,
Yeah.
like even like you mentioned, you were making the highlights for the whatever awards and stuff. Like I don't know, like the Sander one was really good, right? Like just that little like it just looked cool. And
Yeah.
it made the players look good. And
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's like because it's a brand for us, right? And
Right.
we don't all do a great job of creating it for ourselves necessarily. Like, we need help with it.
I mean, you guys do a pretty good job.
We try.
Yeah, we try.
So you guys are like the
That's why I bring
trailblazers
you
for
on.
it, really. I mean,
Yeah.
because you hit me up in probably 2021 also.
Yeah.
Was that like first
Right.
year, and I was just like, yeah, let's just do it.
Kind of just building and
Yeah.
figuring it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I always think we could do a better job, but like, I think the best thing we're doing is going for it.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
And you're putting yourself out there while you're doing it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which is
exactly.
cool.
Yeah.
And we, like, because we just do stuff, we also make mistakes faster than anyone else,
Yeah.
and we learn way faster.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like, we'll do stuff and we'll figure out if it doesn't work, and then we're
Right.
like, okay, then we'll try something new, and then we zigzag until we find stuff that does work.
Yeah.
And when it
Yeah.
works, we stick to it and just keep experimenting.
Yeah.
The beauty of the podcast is that we're not, it's all our money, like anything that comes in, like any funds, but like we just treat it as like this is our money we get to like try things with.
Right,
And
yeah.
Mhm.
experiment
Right.
and like it's not like coming out of my bank account like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
money that I need to spend on my daughter's preschool.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. No, that's
It's
good.
like we have this little slush fund to like be creative and like busted, but whatever, it wasn't gonna be in my account anymore.
right, right.
Right.
Not that one day we can start paying ourselves.
Yeah.
Someday.
Yeah. I'm grateful you guys paid me first. Then you-
Yeah,
before
right. We'll pay
yourself,
you
yeah.
first.
And
Yeah.
that's like
Nice.
one of my big things is like, because there are a lot of people who will do stuff for free,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm just anti-work for free.
Yeah.
I
so
just
yeah,
don't
okay,
like.
yeah.
I just think, just as a freelancer, like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
no.
hire talented people and then let them do
Yeah.
work.
My
Yeah.
only thing is the proof of product phase.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
true.
like,
Yeah.
I can't just throw money out and like it's a complete bust for nothing. Like, can you show me what you're doing first? Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
You know? Or like a one-time thing. Okay, we'll pay for the one time. But like, I think it has to be a meet in between kind of thing. You know, like you need to build your brand. You need to, like you did. You slow rolled into like this. Now I have to charge. Like this is my job kind of thing. Yeah. But it wasn't like right off the bat. Like, okay, I'm gonna invoice you full price that a top professional would invoice.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
It's like a meet in between kind of thing.
Yeah. It's definitely a dance. For sure.
You know what I freaking loved about working with you two is that, like, I just love hiring talented people, and then they do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like, you never checked in with me, and I've loved it because, like, obviously I was pretty busy with commentating and whatever and writing, and you just like deliver this awesome video. I was like, sick.
Yeah.
Like, we were with each other, but at no point were you like, hey man, like, what do you do? And I was like, I didn't have time for it.
Right. Yeah.
And you didn't need it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And it's like, by the time like I get feedback from you and then like make changes, like the video needs to go up, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, by the time all that happens a lot with clients. You're like, all right, you know, either you can just let me do it,
right,
and it'll be hot while it's hot, or like you have to go back and make notes and like make changes, which is fine, but sometimes it's just better to just put it out there.
Yeah,
that's got to be a tricky part of it. I mean, I know from our side of it too, like how much feedback to get. Like 100%, I think it's like a tattoo artist. Like, don't try to make your, you know, like pick the artist and let them do their best piece of work on you. Don't try to like tell them how to draw it and like what lines to make. Like, dude, they're the professional.
Yeah.
But put your feedback in there. Make sure the artist knows what you're looking for, and then giving feedback. But like, to take feedback from so many different types of people, like, you know, maybe you did need to still work with this agent that felt entitled to whatever the hell he's talking about. But you have to deal with like so many different people, right? And each job's like so different. I'm sure that
is what's kind of cool. It is cool, but also kind of lame because like I don't have any coworkers, so like it's just Francis and now Franklin. But
and she has a great experience with like social and
she
and all that stuff.
Like she's been a model for 7-8 years and just like has been in the industry. So like when she first saw my rate, she was like, "Wait, what? You charge this much for and you're doing all of what?"
Yeah, you scored with that one. It's like me with Gabby.
Like,
she understands.
Like she's like fully my agent now. Like I'll just forward her emails. What do you think I should do? Charge, blah blah blah, and she'll just send it back.
Full team.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, she's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best.
When you started freelancing, because there's this like time period where you basically have to say yes to almost everything.
Oh yeah.
But then you hit a point where you have to say no to almost everything.
Yeah.
And you have to just like focus on your like 4 big things. But when you're starting, you're whatever. You just spread a really wide canvas.
Yeah.
So when what was that say yes to the tipping point?
I don't know if I have been able to say no as much as I'd like recently, but I just knew at the beginning of this year, having a baby, work for ourselves, we don't have a company that's going to pay us leave or anything. So I was like, I have to take everything that I possibly can because I have to save up as much as I can because I have no idea if I'm going to be able to take time off, if I'm able to work when baby comes.
Yeah.
And I worked day 2 back at the AVP Hermosa Beach, which was tough. But I mean, I haven't really been able to say no.
Yeah.
But it's also tough. Like, I always feel like I can do more. But then it's just like, oh, I have to edit all that stuff. That's what people don't really understand sometimes. It's like, I can do all these jobs, travel to all these places, but then like, I still have so much work on the back end that I have to do, invoice them. Like even just you guys, I don't know how long it took me to get you guys an invoice for Mexico, but it's just like, I'm doing so many things that like, even the simplest things of sending an invoice, that could take 5 minutes, takes weeks because I'm working for myself and like my brain is all over the place. And as a creative, it's just like, when something is like hot and like sparks in my mind, like I got to go while it's hot because otherwise it's just going to be boring. But yeah, I need to figure out more of that like balance of say no to things. But I don't know. It's just, I always feel like I could handle it all. And then it's like right now I have like so many things that I need to edit. Clippers game tonight. Yeah. It's just like, but I wouldn't change it for a 9-to-5 job for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you don't want to have a job that's not stressful and difficult and challenging. You want to have a job that's all that, but that for some reason, like, you wake up and you're like, yep, I'm going to work.
Yeah.
Like,
but
you
it's so
never
weird
question, like, my shit. It's, like, so hard. But, like, I never, like, question, like, should I practice today?
Yeah.
Should I?
Right.
I don't know.
And it's
I
like
just
hard
feel
to call it a
that's
job, to be honest. It's
Yeah.
like I was doing this for fun, like basically my whole life. I made videos in high school with my high school friends and like would put them on YouTube, and they're like just random videos.
Yeah.
College, same thing with GoPro, but like now I get paid to do what I was doing basically my whole life for fun.
That's like just what everyone. I mean, I don't think everyone can do that. Like they they weren't like doing a passion thing at a young age necessarily. That could be a job maybe.
Yeah.
But like it's definitely what I. 100% what I'm doing.
I don't know, this world is crazy though. Like you could be. Like there's people that are now rich and famous because they just collected Pokemon cards their whole life, and then now Pokemon is back or where it was back or
just
whatever.
Lean into your passion.
And it's just like, wow, they are just cashing in on that one thing that they were super passionate about their whole life.
Yep.
You never know. Maybe something could just spark from that one thing and
it's
cash in.
Like there's trade-offs with it.
Yeah.
Because like Delaney always says, oh, like you work super hard. You're commentating, then you're writing, then you're podcasting, you're playing. I'm like, well, I'm funding really hard.
Yeah.
But it also comes with that sort of mild state of paranoia.
Oh, for sure.
You're like, what if I don't get a contract next month?
ABP? I don't know. I don't know if I'm coming back next year. LA Galaxy, I have no idea. Like even, is it December yet? No, it's not December. But besides the Clippers and like maybe a couple jobs, like I have no idea what December looks like.
Yeah.
And that's just how it's been for the last 5 years, which is not ideal. I mean, there's like ABP, like I know when the events are, but like all this stuff in between.
It's scary.
It could come like I've taken a job that's like, can you be in Miami tomorrow? And I'm like, maybe, yeah, probably, but
I don't know. Let me ask the wife.
Yeah, let me ask the boss, and then if it works, it works. But yeah, I've been. Can you come do this in a couple hours? Can you catch a flight across the country for the next day?
Speaking of Miami, have you shot Messi yet?
No.
Are they coming to the Galaxy?
They didn't play. They played LAFC this year because by the time I think he came, they had already played the Galaxy.
Oh, gotcha.
Or I don't know if it's like the NFL where like you don't play every team in the season.
See. Yeah.
Which is weird because they do play a lot of the teams multiple times. But
how is that shooting soccer? Because I know that's probably like your first love.
Yeah,
sport,
soccer
right?
was my first love, and still probably is my main, besides my wife and kids. But
that's my main thing.
No, soccer's cool. It's just a lot slower of a pace, which is nice because you can get a lot of like cinematic detail shots, and but like you're literally just waiting for the action.
Oh yeah,
But then it's also stressful because like,
what if you miss it?
What if you're not in focus, or like if you're not in the right spot for it? Like volleyball,
someone's in the way.
Someone can get a stuff block, and it's like, oh, I wasn't in the best spot, but like it'll happen again.
Right.
Maybe that like sick bicycle kick or like
not my jump set.
Yeah, that I mean, there's so many times where I'm like, wow, I was actually in a really good spot, or like sometimes like I really wish I was not.
Dude, you were under the ref stand for like when I came under and blocked Miles.
Wait, you just say you came under?
Yeah, sure, whatever. I just want people to watch.
Honestly, from where I took the video from, it looked pretty even to me. Like you were just like, I'm in my spot. I can't really move.
Extremely proud of that.
Okay.
I just like being creative, thinking in the moment, like bending the rules, but it's the refs. You're not cheating because you're like clearly in front of everyone. Like your call is this legal or not?
Yeah, I mean, wasn't it? That was the championship game, right? So.
Yeah, I think it was the final.
I can't remember if it was final or quarter.
And we won the set.
Yeah, you won the set.
We won the set. If it was the one before, then we won the match. If it was the
it was the championship.
Yeah. Even more so, like in the championship in front of the crowd, like doing creative shit.
Yeah,
in the moment, I always like that.
And I think controversy is good. Like even if
that's why I post these things. That's why Lotman. I was like, why are you freaking out? I'm just trying to get. Remember when I posted for the touch?
Yeah.
He's like, just fully got so offended by it. I was like, bro, people like the either or.
Yeah,
did I touch it or not?
And people also love some good old Insta wars.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they like it. I mean, that's true. His comments, I still get to see people liking it.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. So anytime controversy is good. Like when it's natural.
Yeah.
And that both of those were pretty organic because you were like, was this a touch or no? Because that was a big call.
Right. Yeah.
Well, the touch one, I mean, it's my hand, so like I know that it didn't touch me. And but then it's funny because like now you're getting people being like, oh well, is he a liar? Like,
yeah.
Which like if I went that far to lie about it, like all the way to right now. Like you just don't do that in volleyball. You lie in the
match.
You lie in the match, and then after you tell them if you touched it or not. That's kind of the unspoken rule.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know.
Yeah.
Those are great. Those are great clips. And you got a few of them this year. Where I'm like, yes, Frito, you got it.
Do you ever think like, oh, Frito erased that clip, or like, oh, I hope Frito got that?
Like if you're in the spot or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. So that you do think about like.
Not
like a little bit, but like, do you
not
think
during
about
the match?
Yeah,
maybe the jump set. I was like, oh, that's pretty sick.
Yeah. But like, do you notice like how many more cameras there are on the courts these days than there were like back then, or not really?
No, not really. I'd never thought about it back in the day because it wasn't.
I mean, there weren't like a bunch of media.
I was like,
people.
I remember when I first started doing Instagram, I was out on tour with Phil, Nick, Hayden, Casey, Jake, like.
Yeah.
None of them did anything. Casey kind of got into it too around then. But like I was like posting like my GoPro stuff.
Yeah,
like, I'd be on tour and like, look, a barrel I caught in Brazil, stuff like that. But I remember I was the only one. I was like, I'm the only one into this.
Yeah.
And then like I didn't really. I would have loved to get cool clips, but it didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah.
But now I'm like. It's fully like we're trying to build a brand here. Like,
and you need it for sponsors and
have to like getting you out there for the vlogs is great. But now I know you're filming for when that one play does happen,
right?
And then you happen to be in position for a lot of them, and they don't really move the needle that much. Like it's not like I'm gonna make money because I got this, but like, I mean, it's great for fans. Like that's what people want to see is like those really cool plays.
Yeah.
But. Yeah, I think it's sliding into my head more and more. I'm more business minded these days.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
just opening up to you and like, I'm gonna go back set here. Fritos over there.
Yeah. Looks for me before he serves. Yeah.
Trevor.
Where's he at?
I'm not quite at the Troy Field where he's just during the match, just like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Dancing to the camera.
Troy and Trev are pretty good at noticing where the cameras are.
Well, Trev, man, he knows.
Trev loves it too.
And he's different from Troy because Trev will know like once he goes up like 18, 15.
He's like, I got this.
He'll start
now I'm
like,
safe.
You know it, baby.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
You got to talk when the score's tied, right?
That's the Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
You remember that from The Last Dance?
Yeah.
He's like, anyone can talk shit when they're up.
Yeah.
And he had like the cigar in his
Yeah,
mouth.
he's just tightening the bat. Tightening the grip.
And now a man who can talk shit down 5, that's a grown man.
Yeah.
Well, what's next for you, man?
Immediately, what's next is Clippers tonight.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you who we're playing.
Doesn't matter. Can't shoot them anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But yeah, Clippers taking a nice little family vacation for Christmas.
Where you going?
Texas, just
nice.
Franklin's first Christmas, so gonna go with Fran's family. My family, whole family's coming out.
Are they in Brazil?
No, my mom and dad live here.
Okay.
But all my cousins, aunts, uncles are all in Brazil. I got one uncle in Portugal. But yeah, mostly everyone's in Brazil. But then that's the thing. People always ask me like, "Oh, like who are you shooting for?" And like, I'm like, honestly, it's all such a blur. Like once it's over.
Yeah.
I have like a couple random shoots, like product shoots. But yeah, it's mostly Clippers for a while. Hopefully Galaxy comes back in a little bit.
SANDCAST and then a bunch of hacks.
That's it.
SANDCAST. Yeah. I mean, this is what's happening right now.
Yeah.
This is
buddy.
Yeah, this has been super cool.
You got a game Friday?
Huh?
We need to do a little Friday night episode.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe not this Friday because I got to commentate
next
Philippines
Friday.
next Friday.
Yeah,
next Friday.
Another date.
Who knows? That's a long ways away.
Yeah, that might be. I might be in Miami.
Right.
You never know.
Yeah.
We'll lock you down.
Yeah.
For one Friday night episode, we get you.
Yeah, I'm down.
Behind the scenes, little drinking with everyone episode.
Yeah.
See who shows up.
That'll move the
See
needle.
who shows up. Episode.
Yeah. Open invite.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, where can people follow your work?
Instagram, DFrito Media is the main.
And Frito, so Fritos and Frito are spelled different.
Frito, Frito, like the chip.
Frito-Lay.
Yeah, I got that from Bill Ferguson when I was
Bill Ferguson.
Yeah, when I was playing for SCVC 17s.
Oh.
Called me Frito one time, and I was like, all right, cool. And then the whole team called me that. One guy from volleyball went to the same college as me called me Frito, and then it spread to my college team, and then now it's like I introduce myself as Frito sometimes in professional settings. So I'm like,
yeah,
most of you guys are gonna call me Frito anyway. So like,
it's honestly good branding. Like it's way easier to remember.
Yeah, it's like you're gonna remember Frito over Daniel.
Yep.
All the time.
Yeah, there's only one Frito.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
the Brazilian thing. You gotta have one name.
Yeah.
Because I got introduced to you, I just got sent your number and it was just Frito.
Yeah.
So I was like, I should probably figure out his real name. Like, just to
there was a time where I was gonna do like a little vlog at the AVP and just go up to people and be like, "What's my real name?"
Yeah.
I started it in Huntington, and I think it was like 2 for 5 knew my real name. The rest of them did not know.
And
Taryn and Kristen definitely did not know. Yeah.
And
my badge was right there.
Yeah.
And it said Daniel.
That's so good though.
Didn't know.
I think it's perfect. Way better. Like,
but now my Instagram like has my name on it because it's verified. So it's like
I can't open up a vlog and be like Daniel.
Yeah, right.
No,
yeah,
it's not that cool.
Yeah.
Damn, Daniel.
Yeah, back at it again.
Yeah. And so people are looking to hire you. Anybody looking for content? Instagram, best place to hit you up.
Yeah, literally.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Frito Media then.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Also known as La Machina and producer Frito.
Yeah. When's the next Road to Paris coming up?
It'll be Wednesday. I'm actually gonna record one right after this.
All right, so I should probably get out of the seat.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I got
Hot
producers
seat.
1 and 2 are coming in after producer 2 wakes up from his nap.
Hey, at least he's napping.
Dude, he naps well during the day, and then at night just gremlin.
Don't let him nap.
Just
keep him up.
Yeah.
And then we'll have a shitty day.
Yeah.
It's like, do you want to have 3 bad hours overnight or 8 bad hours during the day?
Dude,
Yeah.
put him in the sun and make him crawl around in the sand, and he'll
Put
sleep.
the Hawaiian way.
He'll sleep.
Yeah.
He went to 12 volleyball tournaments this year, and he slept. He hangs out great, loves the beach,
Wow.
and he'll just fall asleep.
Have you put the headphones on him yet?
No.
So like, oh god, we did that for Franklin. We do that at church, and then we also did it at a Clipper game.
Yeah.
And he's just so funny. His face gets like so smushed, but he's fine with it. He's just like cruising.
Yeah, we brought him to a couple indoor matches, and he
Chilling.
didn't care. Yeah.
Cool.
Well,
Dad
the
life.
Dadcast.
Yeah.
We started with
Dadcast. Started and ending with dads.
SANDCAST, Dadcast, yeah.
Yeah. Good to
Love
get
that.
you back in the chair.
Yeah.
Man, you've been out and
Feels
about.
comfy in my chair.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been gone. We'll have more episodes for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll catch up.
I'm excited to hear more about that stuff.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Cause last I saw you was when I decided not to film your outro in Mexico.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to get me
Still
while
too
it's
soon.
hot. You got
And
to
then I
get
saw
me
the
while it's
podcast. You're like, should have filmed me. I was like, oh, okay, fine. It's just hard because like you're my friend too, so it's
Yeah,
like
right.
I don't know if I'd want to be filmed, but I guess like that's when kind of need to press record.
I don't think everyone would want that, but I'm like been around it so long now, and like Gabby's kind of taught me like people want to see the vulnerable stuff, and I know how to not fake it. Like I'm not gonna put it on for the. I'm like I don't know what to tell you. I'm pissed right now. You know? Like, I just think that's what people want to see. You know, the real stuff.
Yeah.
Even if it's from afar, even if I tell you to fuck off.
Yeah. Put on a
great
long lens
footage.
and go somewhere else. Yeah.
But that's great footage.
It's true. Yeah.
Like now people know. Like Tribe was so pissed and devastated that he just fucking flicked off his friend. And said, get the F out of here.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Photographers call it the jubendige. After a match, you get the jubilation and the dejection.
Yes.
He says, doesn't matter which moment you get, but you got to get one of them because they're so powerful.
Well, I think that's what
emotion.
That's exactly why sports are popular.
Yeah.
Because like people are trying to relate to their own lives through this one little like sports moment, right? Love these like how are these people going to handle the highs and the lows? That's why like it's so cool that there has to be a winner and a loser each time, because you get to experience both sides. Like look, I get to see them devastated in a loss, in a low, and them in a win, and everyone can relate to both of those.
Yep. It's powerful.
Yeah.
Powerful.
You do a good job capturing it.
Good job.
Thank you.
Next time we have, hopefully no more early exits, but next time there might be one.
I mean, it's hard to ride highs all the time, so I'm sure we'll have some pissed off try.
Yeah.
Good shit, boys.
Thank you, fellas. This was fun.
Frito.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
La.
Yes, sir.
Good to be back together.
Oh yeah, it was good.
I missed you.
Yeah, same. We gotta do it more often.
Yeah.
Shoots.